The rain eases, but flood misery goes on, with hundreds of houses still submerged and large parts of England and Wales on high alert for flooding tonight. In the worst hit areas, many are facing another night out of their homes.
This is our kitchen. Just be careful, because this is where the cellar is, and this is where the water at the end, with the last half hour, was coming out and we didn't have a choice. This is when we abandoned the house.
We'll be live in Gloucester and Nottinghamshire as residents there survey the damage, also tonight. Kate Garraway pays tribute to her darling husband, Derek Draper, who's died after an agonising battle with long COVID. Oscar Pistorius is released from prison nearly 11 years after murdering Reeva Steenkamp. The NatWest boss accused of being out of touch. He claims it's not that difficult to buy a home.
And I'm going behind the scenes as Wheel of Fortune prepares to make its long-awaited TV comeback.
This is the ITV Evening News with Romilly Weeks.
Good evening. More than 1,000 properties have been flooded across England tonight as hundreds of flood warnings are issued. The Environment Agency says the impact is likely to be felt for days because the ground is already completely saturated. And a spell of freezing weather is now on its way. The worst affected areas in the southwest on the River Avon and along the River Trent in Nottinghamshire. We'll have the latest from there in a moment with our Midlands correspondent Ben Chapman. But first to our West of England reporter Sangeeta Lal, who's in Gloucester tonight. Sangeeta, it's been a really difficult week for many there. Absolutely. Sangeeta, thank you. On to the day's other main news, and Good Morning Britain presenter Kate Garraway has paid tribute to her husband Derek Draper after his death at the age of 56. Draper, who was a former political lobbyist for the Labour Party, had been seriously ill with long COVID since early 2020. He died surrounded by his loving family. His wife Kate said she was holding his hand to the end. Martha Fairley reports. Remembering Derek Draper, who's died aged 56. Rishi Sunak is to face another potentially damaging by-election after former Energy Minister Chris Skidmore resigned. In the past hour, the MP for Kingswood in Gloucestershire said he'll stand down next week and leave the Conservative Party over plans to allow new licences to drill for oil and gas. Our political correspondent Harry Horton is in Westminster. Harry, another unwelcome blow for the Prime Minister. Harry, thank you. There's plenty more to come on the ITV Evening News, including 11 years since killing his girlfriend, Reeva Steenkamp, Oscar Pistorius is released on parole. And we go behind the scenes as Wheel of Fortune makes its long-awaited return to ITV. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back. Nearly 11 years after he murdered his girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp, Paralympian Oscar Pistorius has been released from prison on parole. For the next 13 years, he must stay at his uncle's house in Pretoria, not speak to the media, not drink alcohol, and he must take gender-based violence courses. But Reeva's family say they are the ones living a life sentence. Our correspondent Emma Murphy reports. The chair of the NatWest Group has had to backtrack on his suggestion that it was not that difficult to get onto the property ladder. Sir Howard Davis made the comments in an interview this morning, and Katie Fenton is outside NatWest headquarters in the City of London. Katie, Sir Howard's remarks prompted something of a backlash. Katie, thanks for that. The actor David Soul has died at the age of 80.
Charlie, I want to leave a message for Huggy Bear. Yeah, would you tell him that Starsky and Hutch want to see him tomorrow night?
He shot to stardom playing Detective Sergeant Ken Hutchinson in the hit series Starsky and Hutch. He was also a singer, releasing UK chart toppers Don't Give Up on Us and Silver Lady. His wife Helen Snell paid tribute, calling him a beloved husband, father, grandfather and brother. And finally, after nearly a quarter of a century, the game show Wheel of Fortune will be back on our screens tomorrow night. It will feature the same successful format that saw it run for 14 seasons, and this time it will be presented by Graham Norton. He gave our entertainment reporter Rishi Davda a behind-the-scenes tour. Let's hope the real contestants do a bit better than Rishi. That is all from us for now. The weather's next and Tom's here at 10:30 after the FA Cup football. But from me and the Evening News team, goodbye.
It's a cold and wet outlook, with some heavy downpours throughout the day. Heinz Big Soup sponsors ITV National Weather.